great. You know, we played hard. That's what we're looking for. The pace was a little bit more like we want. It'll get better. A lot of sloppiness, especially early. We struggled against the zone, but I think eventually we broke them. Our defense was pretty solid to where we ended up getting some stops, some runouts, and kind of opened the game up. And I think we just kept playing hard. So biggest thing we were looking for today was making sure our effort was there. And, you know, we ended up hitting 17 threes. It helps when you get shooters like these two kind of spacing the floor out. But we'll clean up the messy part of it here sometime before conference play. I'm open.
All right, thanks, Coach. Let's do questions for either player. Just raise your hand. We'll bring a microphone over to you. Starting the second row with Alex.
Shaq, what was it like out there? Obviously, the 6 threes. It just seemed like, you know, we were able to get that consistency going from outside early. How did you feel?
I think it's just being comfortable. My teammates made me feel comfortable with it being my first year. I got a lot of guys just letting me know how it is playing the first game. So with Kyra making great passes and me getting in the right spot, it just helps our team get better.
Kyra, you were in his spot last year. You know, just what was it seeing? I mean, exhibition game, of course, but seeing that kind of showing from him just in his first game.
It just shows the type of player he is. He doesn't back down from no competition. He's coming in there and do his job. And he does it to the best of his ability, and he played a great game today.
Let's go in the front row with Drew.
This is for Kyra. Kyra, when did you feel like you got into a rhythm out there? You really seemed like you, by the middle of the first half, you kind of hit your stride.
It was just playing in the flow of the game, you know, trying to get offensive rebounds when I had the chance to, find the teammates, and when we were getting stops, I just feel like we had one more chance to get out and run, and that's when we were at our best.
Want to jump over left side, third row, Michael?
Kyra, how different the atmosphere feeling here today compared to maybe some of the times last year, even though it was just a scrimmage?
I had to say it's twice as big as it was last year for the exhibition. Fans is ready for the season, and we need their support as much as we can, so I'm happy with their attendance today.
Kerry, did you have a question? Okay, let's go all the way in the back, back there to William. Got a microphone coming.
Coach, talk about the defensive effort from Herbert Jones today and what he was able to do, especially in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, Herb's one of the better defenders in the country, and we've known that and kind of praised it. And we call them blue collar points, kind of a combination of points for charges, floor dives, loose balls, deflections, rebounds, offensive rebounds, all the stuff that maybe doesn't show up on a box score that wins games. So if you look, like Herb ends up winning the blue collar, we give him a hard hat after the game, and then he also won the plus minus on the stat sheet. So, you know, we were best when Herb was in the game, even though he maybe didn't score that many points. Just he does so many little things that wins games, and our guys know that. We know it. That's why he's a huge part of what we're doing. That's why he's on NBA scouts' radar, because he does all that stuff. And the more he's able to shoot it. He hit the 1-3 today. I think that's going to continue to go up. We've been in the gym with him a ton, just getting shots up with him, and he's going to be a more confident offensive player. But all that other stuff, he's unbelievable at.
Let's do questions for the players. We got one or two left. Get back to Alex.
Kyra, you had 7 rebounds today. Just what was working for you on the boards, and you know, how much do you feel like that helped with that transition, you know, baskets and some of those opportunities?
One of my goals this year is to get more rebounds, because I feel like if a guard gets more rebounds, the offense flows better into pushing the ball. So I'm just pounding there, getting rebounds, because the big might just have to box out a bigger player, and it's my job to come up with the rebound.
Any other questions for Kyra or Shaq? Back up to Drew.
This is for Shaq. You really shot the 3 well. Coach Passon was really talking about how they weren't aware of you on the scouting report. When did you start really feeling good out there?
I felt confident from the jump, since straight out the gate. I mean, missing a shot doesn't really affect me that much. My guys keep me tuned in to shooting the same shot the next time. So after I made the first one, I just continue to be confident with every other one I shot.
All right, Kyra and Shaq, you guys are good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we got questions for Coach Oats at this time. We'll start on the far right here with Kerry.
Coach, obviously Alex played much better in the second half offensively. In the first half, he briefly left the game with some sort of injury. What was that?
Something with his hip, but I don't even know, to be honest with you. Clark is one of the best trainers in the country. We're fortunate to have him. Clark told me he gave me a name, I don't know what it is. He got something with his hip, but he looked like Clark got it loosened up and right. He kept him warm on the bike while he was sitting out, so he's ready to go. And he can shoot. I mean, he's going to be big in our offense. We're going to play him at the 4 and the 5 both. And we play him at the 5, he's able to make shots and then go on the perimeter. 5's going to have a hard time guarding him.
Front row, AP.
Good afternoon, Coach. Coach, is 21 assists, is that a high number for your team, a medium number?
Yeah, it's a good question. I would think that's about where we want to be. It's probably a tad high. Part of that was they were in that zone. The ball's moving a lot, and we weren't getting that many at the rim finishes, so a lot of kick out threes and transition threes off passes. But turnovers is where I was a little concerned with. I mean, we had way too many turnovers today, but we'll get some of that stuff cleaned up here in the next week.
Jump over left side, third row, back to Michael.
I know this is the first time we've talked to you since Friday, but how surprised were you by the NCAA's decision on Quinterway?
Yeah, you know what, I wouldn't say I was surprised. I was disappointed, maybe more the word, but there is an appeals process, and I just think, we had maybe a feeling that's where we were going to win it anyways, just with his case is so different, being with what he's gone through. It's not really any of those where you check the box on. So, I mean, he's, like, JQ's attitude's been great. His parents, obviously are really disappointed. They everything they've been through, they want to see him play. But I think he's handling it well, and we're going to go all the way through. We're planning to win the appeal. I still plan on him playing next Tuesday, but we got to go through the appeal and see if we can't get a one through the appeal process.
Right side, Alex.
Hey, I know this exhibition game, and maybe you didn't pull out all the stops, but how much was this kind of a preview of what Alabama fans can kind of expect from this team?
Yeah, I think the effort was there, what they could expect. Where there's multiple guys diving on the floor for loose balls, and we're taking charges, and you see Beatles up in guys, and we're getting deflections on the ball. I think that's what they can see. Hopefully the sloppiness and the turnovers we can clean up, but the pace, and again, everybody's telling me how great it was, and it was better than when we got here, but it's going to get a lot faster than what it even was. Our guys have got to get in game shape and run the floor hard, sprint to the corners, be ready to play. So it's coming. It's looking a lot more like what we want it to look like, but we got tons of improvement to make here over the next couple months.
You utilize a lot more the 4 guard, like you said you were kind of going to. How are y'all able to get some of the rebounds you got in those sets where you only had the one big man on the floor?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. So we played small Buffalo all the time. I mean, our starting 4-man was a 6'7" 2-guard, Jeremy Harris. So we're going to play Herbert a lot at the 4. We played Forbes at the 4, Petty at the 4. I just think it's on our end. I mean, if you go back and watch this 2 years ago when we played Arizona and they had DeAndre Ayton and Ristic, they got 2 7-footers out there, and we got to guard one of them with a 6'7" 2-guard. It's just, in college, it's a lot easier to take away 2 bigs than it is to guard on the other end. Because if they want to play with 2 bigs, one of them's going to have to guard one of our guards. So I think you get that, but then what you end up with a lot of threes being taken both sides. We're going to pack it in, we're going to make them shoot, and then those threes are long rebounds. The guards are just a little bit more athletic than they chase them down. I mean, Kyra had 7 rebounds, and we've been stressing to him about rebounding so we can get the ball in his hands immediately when we're out on the break. He did a great job, and kind of if you go through all of our guys, and we out-rebounded them by 12. But if you go through them, we took 37 threes. Those were long rebounds. We had 12 old boards, and we're able to chase down some long rebounds. I think that's kind of where you make up the difference on that. Plus, you just preach it. You talk about it all the time. We think we're a tough team. We blue collar. I mean, we play fast, which I don't want any of the Showtime stuff that goes with playing fast. We want to be blue collar and tough and hard nosed, and rebounding comes with that. Our goal was to out-rebound them by 10, and we got them by 12 today. So I like where we were at with the toughness aspect on the glass today.
A few more questions, starting far left with Tony.
Yeah, you started the game 6 of 19, I think, in the first half from 3. Did you deliver a message to kind of establish that confidence in the second half?
To be honest with you, I delivered in the first half. I mean, we took more threes in the first half than the second. I just told them keep shooting them. I tell them that all the time. If it's a good shot, shoot it every time. So if it's we're looking for paint touch, kick out threes, or if it's an open 3 in transition and then you're in rhythm and you're a shooter, shoot the ball. So we only shot 23s in our close scrimmage last Sunday. Wasn't nearly enough. I told them we're shooting for more like 30 to 35. So, and it depends on what the defense gives you. If you can get at the rims, that's the best shot. You drive the ball and score at the rim. Well, if they're going to take that away and you're able to get in the lane and they collapse and you get those kick out threes. I mean, the perfect example was Reese hits couple. We run a pick and pop, get him in the corner. They close hard and he blows by the guy. Petty's man has to help. Petty gets the baseline drift wide open three. Like even Reese, Biggs, we want him playing off to dribble, attacking, and spraying the ball. So that's kind of what our offense wants to look like, and we're getting there. We just got to cut down on the turnovers by a lot.
Okay, we got 3 questions starting on the left here with James.
Coach, Shaq was first off the bench and then really found a rhythm. Is that the role you see him playing throughout the season?
Yeah, you know what, we've debated that. Do we start him? Do we start Beto once he gets comfortable? Do we bring, like, just with the bigs and the guards? We obviously got a lot more guards than bigs, and we want to play small a lot of times anyways. Do we get in a rotation where you maybe start small and get? So we don't know. This is the first time we've been able to play somebody else with Beetle, and then if Quinterly gets cleared, which we're thinking we can make happen, and hopeful that it happens, then you got even another guard. So now I really don't know, and to be honest with you, we may not settle in on a starting lineup for a few weeks, a couple months. So we may change it game to game based on who we're playing, to be honest with you. So, but I do think Shaq would be. And if you look at our Buffalo team, some of our leading scorers and best players came off the bench. I think he'd be great in that role because he comes in, his attitude's great, he comes in ready to play, he makes a few shots, he's going against tired defenders hopefully, or a second unit defender that's not nearly as good as the first unit. And shoot, he was great at it today, so maybe a great role for him.
All the way in the back to Cecil, and then we'll finish with Drew.
Coach, I think John Petty missed his first 5 shots. Do you just let him shoot through that? Just keep going if they're good shots?
Yeah, I mean, I've told our guys, I give the example, and people get sick of me using Buffalo as an example, but it's the only spot I've coached in Division I, so it's going to have to be used. I mean, we had a kid, Jeremy Harris, maybe 0 for 7, 0 for 8. He passed up an open one. Next media time out, he told him if he passed up another open one, he's coming out of the game. Like, you have to shoot when you're open if you're a shooter. Like, the only way you're going to get out of a slump is to shoot. You're not going to get out of a slump passing up shots, so shoot the ball. So anytime Petty's open, he's supposed to shoot the ball. So I don't care whether he's 0 for 5, 0 for 6. He knows from the head coach that I want him to shoot the ball every single time he's open. And I thought there was the one step back that he took in the first half that was a little iffy. And he used to shoot a lot more of those in practice. We're looking for not very many of those. We don't want to see those often at all. We want to see the catch and shoot threes, the ones he was making. As long as they're good shots, like anytime he's open, he's supposed to shoot it. So I really don't care. And I told them before the game, I put we had 5 points on defense, offense. One of them was confidence. When you're open, shoot the ball like you're supposed to shoot it. And I don't want you looking at the bench. So I don't want guys looking over at the bench. Was that a good shot? Was it not? If they err on the side of anything, like shoot the ball. Like we'd like them playing with a lot of confidence.
And also a quick follow-up on Beetle. Where is he as far as, he hadn't practiced as much? Is he at 100%?
I don't know if he's it's a good question. I don't know if he's 100, but he's pretty close to it. Our trainer was really happy with today because he took the charges, took some bumps, and he had to get some confidence that he could go through some of that against another team. So I think we got out of him. But he's just a tough, hard-nosed kid. I mean, he played for Huggins for 3 years. I don't think he'd be soft and go through that. So he's a pretty tough kid that brings a little edge to us that I love. So I was happy to see him hit that first 3, get a little confidence going, and get in. He got some deflections. He's just a scrappy kid that kind of brings our whole team an edge when he's in there.
Last question right here, Drew.
Coach Oates, I was going to piggyback off of Beetle. What did you think of his ball pressure when he came in with the second unit? And then you guys had 8 blocks, 7 steals. Talk about the deflections and the energy on defense.
Yeah, we're trying to get 30-plus deflections a game, and we didn't have it initially. And then Beetle and Shaq both come off the bench. I don't know if you remember, Shaq got the first deflection, and then we got out in transition. Beetle's into the ball, and I think some other guys realize, that's a little bit contagious. And we get Reese got a deflection, which, most people wouldn't think of, Alex is maybe a defense, but that whole ball pressure gets contagious. And guys start talking and get your hands on balls and loose balls, and we're picking them up. And that's how you get out in transition a lot better than taking the ball out in that. So the better our defense is, the better we're going to be in transition, the better our offense is going to be. And I think Beetle was a big spark along with Shaq coming off the bench. And yeah, I mean, if you look, our deflections, you know, chart them here, but our deflections were a lot higher than maybe what they had been, and we're going to continue to work on that with everybody.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right,